Sanibonani guys, welcome back to yet another video, and we are speaking about part 2 of the reunion of the Real Housewives of Durban season 5. The reunion that I was waiting for. This was it, part 2, you guys. Now all I'm gonna start off by saying these ladies of the show need to realize sorry, Usorisha is their colleague, not their friend. Because tell me why, when the host Blair was asking what friendships have you guys formed outside of this group or outside of working with each other, Angel says she sent Usorisha a message asking her to go out for lunch, and Usorisha just blue-ticked her. Angel goes on to say, I'm not going to lie, it hurt me. But she goes on to defend Usorisha, saying, Usorisha nabantwana. She has a husband, she has a busy life, so I understand and whatnot. Usorisha, that time, she didn't even say sorry, guys. She did not even say sorry, even though Angel said she was hurt by that. And I'm like, I need these ladies to understand once they stop recording, Sorisha she's not friends with any of them. Angel still defending Sorisha is going to make her keep going back to Sorisha. That was just plain. Sorisha doesn't want to be your friend like that outside of the show. She is just shooting because Gary called to a girlie. Anyway, moving over to Londie, guys, we need to be honest about something. Before Londie started showing on our screens in this season, I was saying, the most of us were saying, the season is boring. Up until Londie came. So you know what? We need to give Londie a round of applause because she saved the season. Now, I'm going to say, it's sad, she saved the season, or the season was saved at her expense in a sense, because she was bullied, you guys, and it really was disgusting and sad to watch Londie being treated in that way. But there's certain things that I kind of feel like were overlooked in a sense. Some things that I kind of felt like Londie should have taken accountability for them. I kind of felt like there's certain things she was not taking accountability for, because the things that were done to her were way more than the things that she did. For an example, Londie was unapologetic of the fact that she made a comment about Minnie's dress ekala ukumbona. Even Blair asked her, Nonti, don't you think nawe like meeting a person for the first time and then you wanna make a side comment about their dress, don't you think that was a bit inappropriate? She says no, Vele, the dress was funny and something else. Now, they did show us footage that did not make it to TV where Londie did actually genuinely apologize to Minnie about the comment she made about her dress, and she told Minnie, you know what, I was just trying to be funny, but honestly, Minnie, I'm sorry about it. I appreciated that. Now, another thing that I kind of did not appreciate was the fact that Londie didn't feel the need to apologize for her friend's action. Because remember that gay guy who was making funny comments towards the twins, and also, did you want to hit Minnie with a bottle or something like that? I can't remember. Londie refused to take some sort of accountability when Blair was saying, but Londie, you should have caused that umganako. Londie just said, at some point, I did tell umganam ame. I'm like, I felt like that was just not enough. Jojo comes in and says, no, in Londie's defense, you can't take accountability for someone else's actions and for someone else's words, but it was Londie's event, you guys. And if you are hosting something and your friend who is a guest is coming to do such things, you owe people an apology. So that one I didn't like it, you guys. But I kind of felt like Londie is kind of forgetting something, or maybe we as the public are kind of forgetting something. And this is in no way trying to say she deserved anything that happened to her. I just kind of would have appreciated if she took accountability for this part, and then the rest would have been fine. Now, Londie, guys, the first day that she came into this group, did she not come as umuntu who was coming to put Nonku in her place? Because I even remember, Minnie even said something that I actually agreed with. She was saying, Londie was being an instigator. Because the first day Londie came on the table, she came for Nonku about Jamaica and whatnot, and izinto ezinjalo. It just kind of felt like Londie was coming in as the person who knows how to put Nonku in her place. So for me, it just kind of feels like Londie came in with that thing, she's going to be the instigator of drama this season. And then unfortunately, she was met with Minnie, and then Minnie just, she just sidetracked and she did what she did, guys. And listen, that girl, she is vile, guys. To a certain extent, I thought guys, just because that's why Minnie's doing whatever she's doing. Londie, I thought they were actually joking. But now at the reunion, to see the things that Minnie was saying and doing, guys, I'm appalled, to say the least. But anyway, guys, Blair goes over to the twins. And then he plays this video, Londie, where Londie was actually saying, I think it was unseen footage again. Londie was saying, I think she was addressing this designer swimwear saga that went on with her and the twins. She said the reason why she expected everyone to come in designer swimwear is because she thought everyone was at her level. And being at her level, she can afford these things, 1 or 2 or 3 of designer swimwear. So she thought everyone was going to be able to afford it because everyone should be at least, or she thinks everyone's at her level or higher. Now, Black, guys, the way he went in, the way he was whacking the twins, at some points I'm just like, no, Black, wrong, guys. No, I can accept it as we, as the public, whacking the twins or whacking any other cast member, but as a host, guys, I know Uguti, you also get, angry as a host, but I just kind of feel like he was attacking the twins at some point because they even cried. And I kind of felt like if they did not cry, he still would have continued whacking them. So I just feel like as a host, maintain your composure. I think there's a way of asking or getting the truth out of, not really the truth because people and the truth. I think there's a way of getting your points across without attacking people. So people like Abola Tongo, for instance, I'm not trying to compare. Okay, maybe I am comparing. But for instance, Ola Tongo, I think she's a brilliant host, you guys. She knows how to, Abon Tombi, they are able to get their points across and keep you or put you in a corner without making it feel like you're being harassed, because I just felt sorry for the twins. Yes, they were wrong for a lot of things that they said to Londie, but I was just like, calm down, Maple. Now, if I was the twins did eventually apologize, and Maple was saying, no, are you hearing what Londie was saying? Londie was not trying to say, which you are below her level. She was saying, she thought everyone was at her level. I was just like, listen, even that on its own, I would have not apologized. I am sorry, guys. Like, let's think about it. When a person says, Uguti, I thought everyone was at my level and Mina, I can afford 1 or 2 of these. What are they saying? Hibo, guys, aren't they indirectly saying, Uguti, the fact that you can't afford those things, you are not at their level. Like, what level is that? Now, another thing that kind of annoyed me about this group is that I feel like now, because they're on the reunion, people are changing all of a sudden where they stood and their stances on certain things. Because everyone else, guys, was agreeing with the twins. Were they not? Everyone was agreeing on the twins, saying Londie was picking on the twins and don't. Now, I did feel the twins overreacted, but I didn't like the comment that Londie said, that Londie made. And now on the reunion, all of a sudden, everyone's on Londie's side. Guys, and then I was just like, there's people here that were even on Minnie's side, and in Minnie's group, all of a sudden, Labwe reunion, they acting as if they were not Minnie's backup singers. Now back to the twins, guys. Some of the things that they said in Mauritius about Londie, like ukuthi how does she make how does she afford those designer bags? Ama payslip umaple was like ningenaphi ama payslips abantu. Yo guys, he was so heated. Now I did feel like the twins should have apologized without explaining themselves. Some things, guys, don't even try and explain yourself because you're just making things worse. Just don't try and explain yourself. But eventually, they were crying. They went to and apologized to Londie. Londie did seem like she accepted their apology. I really hope with going forth with the twins, I'm not gonna come back to reality TV because, guys, that thing is hardcore. I don't think people realize reality TV shows is not for everyone. Now, guys, I was so surprised to hear the twins, Ufafa and Minnie, are the ones who wrote those notes that some of the people within the cast members or within the ladies received the day of the Last Supper, being Jojo, Sorisha, and Nonku. Guys, I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed because I'm just like, I was busy thinking, you know what? It's production. Who probably did this? Whatever that note had in it or whatever they said. Nonku, the way she blew up, it sounded so personal. The fact that none of them wanted to repeat it, I'm just like, what was written in there? If personally I wrote that note, guys, I was gonna utter out to Balen because now it's just making Ufafa, the twins, and never mind Minnie, because Minnie made herself look bad. Not even that she made herself look bad. She is bad, so I'm not gonna bala her. Ufafa and the twins are looking like vile human beings. If I was the one who wrote the notes, I was gonna talk with Balen to clear myself so that people know really whatever I wrote in there was not deep. Now we thinking whatever you guys wrote there was really deep to a point that Nonku doesn't even want to come back. When Umaple asks if anyone is willing to come forward to say what the note says, no one wants to do it. But guys, I kind of felt like even Ufafa, she did not get enough heat for even writing that note. Like, what do you mean, you guys wrote the note and you all sat down and kept quiet? Even the twins and Ufafa, they're supposed to take some sort of accountability even for being on Minnie's side throughout the show. Now, the funny thing, if tables were turned and Nonku was at that reunion and she was asked not to say anything, she would have probably sang. Nonku would probably say, no, the word of God says in Ini, and went ahead and told everyone what was written on the notes. So I don't know why none of them wanted to speak. And then they proceed to play Jojo and Nonku's scenes throughout the whole season, you guys. So cutesy, you guys. And we see Jojo's crying there. Umaple asks Jojo, why is she crying? Jojo's obviously hurt, you guys. Nonku is not at the reunion. And though I kind of felt like Nonku, I don't think Nonku said to Jojo ukuthi friendship here be pelin, because the way Jojo's speaking, she still thinks it's a phase. Everyone actually still thinks it's a phase that Nonku is going through, that she's going through her own stuff. Got the bazoba, right? Guys, in all honesty, I don't think Nonku is coming back to this friendship. I just think she doesn't have the balls or the guts to say to Jojo, listen, uphelile phakathi kwam now, because I honestly think Nonku genuinely loves Jojo. So I don't like how some people are making Nonku look like the villain and whatnot. I truly do think there's love shared between them. Now the wrong part about Nonku is her going to Sorisha, Beno Londie, and speaking about Jojo and their friendship and saying it was for Instagram vibes, it was for the show. Jojo doesn't know 90% of what's going on in her life. That is hurtful, you guys. But do I think she's a horrible person? No, guys. I think she is going through a phase in her life that she's trying to navigate. And unfortunately, sometimes, guys, some seasons of our lives, no matter how much we want to enter some seasons with other people, we can't enter with them. But it's just important that you need to sit down with people and give people some sort of closure. You can't just leave umuntu hanging nje kanjalo the way way Nonku did with Jojo. Anyway, at this point, Jojo is crying. Now people are coming over to her. One of the twins, Angeli, is there around Jojo. And Ufafa's busy saying there on the side, abamyege, uzokhala more, abamyege. Now, guys, I know Zulu or in some of our cultures, we grew up with that. When someone is crying, the more people surround them, the more they're gonna cry. I don't know, for some reason there is some sort of truth to it, but it just kind of seemed insensitive for Ufafa to say that when Jojo was hurting. Now Jojo says she really doesn't know what happened between her and Nonku, but she believes there's someone in her ear, and she reveals that the someone is Bev, you guys. Bev from the Real Housewives of I don't know what, but I remember she was part of that ultimate Jamaican girls trip that they went to. Pena Bev and Nonku are kind of on the same path. So they believe Bev is kind of replacing, when I say they, I'm speaking about Sorisha Beno Jojo. They believe Bev is the one who is in Nonku's ear, and she is wanting to replace Jojo's position in Nonku's life. Now apparently Bev joined Nonku's church or something like that, but they've been besties since they are on this journey of, dedicating their lives to Christ. Now, I really felt sorry for Jojo, guys. Angithandi ukumbona ekhala kanjalo, especially someone you consider as a best friend, making you seem like that, making you seeming that you have to beg for uthando lwabo. No, she needs to do better. I really hope even after that reunion, she called Jojo and she needs to give Jojo some sort of closure. Now, guys, last scene or last part of the reunion, guys, we discover Minnie sent a message to Angel and Fafa wanting it to be read. Now, I don't even know why Angel read out that message. I would have said, no, I'm not going to do that. Because remember, Fafa was the one who called Minnie right before they started shooting the reunion, or as she was preparing, as she was doing her makeup. And Minnie said to Fafa, she doesn't feel like she needs to be at the reunion. This reunion is for people who couldn't say things in people's faces. Don't. So now why does she want message yake ifunde when she felt like she didn't need to be at this reunion? And then in a message, she still goes on to say, Londie, I'm sorry, I crossed a physical boundary. No. You didn't cross a physical boundary. You assaulted Londie because Ulokuzanuma players never seen footage before where Londie and Minnie had a meet up, and Minnie is barking at Londie, and Minnie gets to a point where she gets up and she pushes Londie's head with her finger. That is not crossing a physical boundary, guys. That is assault. And I am just surprised and appalled Londie didn't tell anyone in the group about this. But you know what? I get it. No one would have probably believed her. And she kept saying, I've been telling you guys, we all did, even us as the viewers, we didn't know it's this bad. And you know what? Londie, we are sorry. We are sorry for not hearing you time and time again. Even after you kept telling us Minnie is a vile person, you didn't want to talk to her because the things that Minnie just kept doing. I felt like even the rest of the crew, they owed Londie an apology for keep trying to push her to go and have a conversation with Minnie, even though she kept saying she didn't want to, you guys. Now, Londie does say she is going to open up a case, assault against Minnie, and listen, she needs to do that. And also, she's going to sue her for defamation of character. Kudos to her. Now, Londie closes off the show so well, you guys. And she says, you know what? At the end of the day, we know we're making TV. But the shade that you throw, it needs to be a decent amount of shade. And you know what, guys? To be quite honest, Londie has lived up to what she's saying. She does throw shade. She does instigate stuff. But it is a decent amount. It's not to a point where now, if her page parents or if her children would have to watch that, they'd be ashamed of her. Nothing like that. But anyway, guys, this was genuinely a good piece or part 2 of the reunion. Let's see. Season 6, definitely Londie London must come back full force. Lento yakhe, you're always coming in as a lost member or as a those things that she likes, things she must stop doing that. Like, it's no longer mysterious. Like, she must just come as a full-fledged member next season. Ufafa angabuyi, twins bangabuyi, even Ulo, the way she was acting at this part 2 of the reunion, almost as if she was scared or something. She must not come back. Sorisha siyamazi-ke, uSorisha uzobuya, uJojo. It's going to be interesting if she does come back to see how is she going to navigate the next season without Nonku. Angel, guys, some people are saying she is two-faced. But anyway, we know if she does come back, her and Jojo, they'll be besties. So we'll see, guys, next season. Anyway, you tell me your thoughts on this. Please do make sure you like the video. Please do subscribe. It is absolutely for free of charge, and I'll see you guys on the next one.